Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90-Day Fiance. Jenny and Sumit look sharp for Rishi's wedding. 90-Day Fiance celeb Rishi Singh got married recently, and he had some special guests on the list who attended the festivities. Sumit Singh and Jenny Slatin were there to see the alum tie the knot with his new wife, and they looked as sharp as ever. So what else do we know about the big day? Rishi Singh may have tied the knot and made it official recently, but it wasn't with his original ex, Jen Bobter. In many ways, when Jen and Rishi filmed, viewers said they were nothing more than Sumit and Jenny version 2, and with good reason. Rishi and Jen dealt with a lot of the same 90-Day Fiance issues Sumit and Jenny faced. Common themes like Jen being an older woman from America reared their ugly head. Along with that, whether or not Rishi's family would accept Jen was also another similarity in this storyline. It didn't surprise 90-Day Fiance fans as a whole when Jen and Rishi eventually threw in the towel. Even though Sumit and Jenny went through the same issues and more, it wasn't ultimately in the cards for Jen Bobter and Rishi Singh. What did surprise 90-Day Fiance fans was just how quickly Rishi moved on to someone new after Jen, though. Rishi went from teasing he had a new woman in his life to marrying her and making it official within weeks. Rishi went as far as to announce his engagement right in the middle of wedding festivities. Even by 90-Day Fiance standards, this seems a bit fast. Rishi Singh tied the knot with his now wife, Maria Ramirez, and he seems happier than ever. There was something of a 90-Day Fiance crossover that went down at Rishi's recent nuptials, as Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh attended the wedding. This wasn't the first time that Jenny and Sumit spent time with Rishi, and this time around, they were there to support him on his big day. Along with that, Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh showed up in style as well. Indeed, Jenny looked as elegant in her dress as Sumit looked dapper in his traditional garb. They attended the wedding as guests. So they got to enjoy all the festivities while also being there to support Rishi in his latest endeavor as a husband. New information is still coming to light about Rishi's wife, but 90-Day Fiance fans are happy for him, and happy that Jenny and Sumit were able to attend. The big day had finally arrived for Rishi and his bride-to-be, and the air was buzzing with the anticipation of a traditional Indian wedding. In a turn of events that had everyone surprised, Sumit and Jenny had received an invitation to attend. It was a show of good faith on Rishi's part, a testament to his friendship with Sumit, despite the unconventional journey Sumit had taken to be with Jenny. Dressed to impress, Sumit and Jenny stepped out of their car, drawing glances from the crowd gathering outside the lavish venue. Sumit was resplendent in a dark blue sherwani, embroidered with golden threads that shimmered under the sunlight. The garment was exquisitely tailored, capturing the essence of both modern sophistication and the deeply rooted Indian tradition. With his hair neatly styled and a confidence that showed just how much he had grown since his tumultuous journey with Jenny began, Sumit looked every bit the part of a proud husband standing tall by his wife's side. Jenny, on the other hand, was almost unrecognizable in the best way possible. She wore a vibrant maroon lehenga with delicate silver embroidery across the skirt, the dupatta draped elegantly over her shoulder. Her makeup was subtle yet glamorous, and her hair was pinned up in a loose bun, adorned with small white flowers that brought out a natural radiance in her face. She looked both elegant and at ease, fitting in with the guests while still exuding a sense of individuality. As they walked into the hall, guests whispered, clearly not used to seeing an American woman so well-versed in Indian attire. Some had heard about Jenny and Sumit's unique love story, one that defied age, culture, and family expectations. In a way, they had become celebrities in the community, their love both controversial and compelling. When they finally spotted Rishi, he was surrounded by well-wishers and relatives, but he noticed them immediately. Breaking away from the crowd, Rishi approached with a wide grin, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "Sumit, Jenny, I'm so glad you could make it," Rishi said, his voice laced with genuine joy. "We wouldn't miss it for the world," Sumit replied, clapping his friend on the shoulder. "You look amazing, man." Jenny nodded in agreement, smiling at the groom-to-be. "You're going to make one lucky woman very happy, Rishi." Rishi laughed, and there was a moment of warmth between the three of them. They shared a quiet understanding, an acknowledgement of the unique relationships they had all navigated. It was clear that while Rishi's path might have been different, he had found inspiration in Sumit and Jenny's story. The wedding ceremony unfolded in all its colorful splendor. The hall was adorned with marigold garlands, and traditional Indian music filled the air. Rishi's family, dressed in their finest, were scattered around the hall, making sure that everything went off without a hitch. The bride arrived, a vision in red and gold, and the rituals began, fire, flowers, chants and blessings binding the couple together. Jenny was mesmerized, her gaze fixed on the intricate customs unfolding before her. Sumit occasionally leaned over to explain the significance of each ritual, and she listened with rapt attention. Despite having attended many ceremonies with Sumit in the past, the grandeur of an Indian wedding never ceased to awe her. After the official wedding rituals concluded, the newlyweds were swept away to greet guests, take photos, and receive blessings. Sumit took this opportunity to lead Jenny through the crowd, introducing her to old friends and some distant relatives. Jenny, accustomed to being the subject of skeptical glances, was pleasantly surprised by how warmly she was received. It seemed that time had softened the reservations many had felt about her and Sumit. As the night went on, the guests moved to the outdoor area for the reception. Fairy lights hung from the trees, casting a soft glow over tables, laden with a feast of traditional Indian dishes. Sumit and Jenny, still by Rishi's side, shared in the joy of the evening, toasting the new couple and sharing stories of their own. Laughter, music, and clinking glasses filled the air. Jenny found herself caught up in a conversation with an elderly aunt of Rishi's. The woman had a warmth that Jenny found comforting, and before long, they were exchanging stories about life and love. She spoke in broken English, peppered with Hindi phrases that Jenny had learned through her years with Sumit. The aunt marveled at how Jenny had embraced Indian culture, and there was a sense of pride and acceptance in her gaze. "Love knows no boundaries, right?" the aunt said, smiling kindly at Jenny. Jenny nodded, feeling a swell of gratitude. "Yes, that's exactly what Sumit and I believe." Meanwhile, Sumit and Rishi were catching up on life, sharing laughs and reminiscing about the early days of their friendship. Rishi, who had been nervous about his family's reaction to inviting Sumit and Jenny, looked visibly relieved and happy that the evening was going so well. "You know, man, I used to wonder if I'd ever be brave enough to live my life the way you do," Rishi said, a hint of admiration in his voice. Sumit smiled, patting his friend on the back. "You've got all the courage you need, Rishi. You just proved that by marrying the woman you love, even if it took time." As the evening progressed, Jenny and Sumit took to the dance floor. The music was a mix of traditional Bollywood songs and some more modern hits, and the crowd cheered as they joined the bride and groom in a joyful celebration. Jenny, ever the sport, had learned a few moves, and Sumit was more than happy to be her dance partner. They laughed and twirled under the stars, surrounded by people who, despite their initial hesitations, had come to embrace their love story. They were no longer just an American woman and an Indian man from different worlds. They were simply Jenny and Sumit, two people who had found a way to love each other against all odds. By the end of the night, as guests began to drift away and the lights dimmed, Rishi came over to them once more. He hugged Sumit tightly, then took Jenny's hands in his own. "Thank you both for coming," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "Seeing you here meant more to me than you know." Jenny smiled, a little emotional from the warmth and acceptance she felt. "Thank you for inviting us, Rishi. We're so happy for you." As they walked away from the celebration, hand in hand, Jenny turned to Sumit with a contented sigh. "You know, Sumit, I never thought I'd feel so at home here." Sumit squeezed her hand, smiling as he looked back at the now distant glow of the wedding venue. "I told you, Jenny, India has a way of embracing those who open their hearts to it." And in that moment, Jenny knew he was right.